Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers with Green Acres Pest Control, and today we're going to talk about what to expect from general pest control. Say you hire a professional to come out to your home and you have a bug problem. Let's say you have ants, or cockroaches, or spiders or something like that. The guy comes out and he treats your home, and you notice that you still have bug issues, even up to, maybe a couple weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, and you're still having problems with bugs. Now, what has sparked this particular video is that I get a lot of criticism on my videos where I don't really address pesticides that I use, which chemicals I use, which chemicals I don't use. The main reason that I do this is because labels change from state to state, labels change from year to year, and what works this year as far as label may not even be labeled for that same use next year. So I try not to give people the impression that the pesticide is going to work the same way every year as far as by law. The thing is, the pesticide's always going to work the way the pesticide is designed to work, but it may not be legal to use it that way next year, and I don't want to give people the wrong impression, and I don't want to make people sick. Pesticides are constantly going under scrutiny, under testing, and if they find that maybe a pesticide is no longer safe, they do a test on it and they find out that it's not safe for a certain application, they're going to take that off the label. So I don't want people to go and treat their houses and maybe risk getting themselves sick. So if you really need information on what chemicals that I use or pesticides that I use, you're welcome to go to my website at greenacrespc.com and submit a form on my contact. It's all free, and I can email you or I can call you directly, and we can talk about it, and I can explain to you some of the things I use for different pests that I get rid of. Because everything I use is knowledge, public knowledge. It's not something that I hide from people. It is the law. I have to tell my customers what I use in their homes, and so it's not that big a deal to tell you what I use. So if you really want to know, ask me. I'll tell you. But anyway, like I was saying, what sparked this video is I have a video, and I'll link it in the description below, on the top 3 reasons not to hire an exterminator. And it's really just a joke. It was funny. It's just something that I did one night. I thought it was kind of humorous. And I've had a lot of people comment on it. And one comment the other day actually stated that you need to look after your pest control guy because he's basically not mixing chemical, not spraying your house because it's not doing what you expect it to do. And that's the synopsis. I'll post the comment too. Hopefully, if I think about it, I'll edit it into this video right now, and you'll be able to look at it and read it. But of course, I blur out the names and everything. But you can go to the video and you can read it, the names there, unless they decide to delete their comment. But anyway, what I was going to say is, all right, you pay for pest control, and you expect certain things when you pay for certain services. You have a guy come out to your house. Let's say you find a black widow, and he's coming out here to spray for spiders, and you may still have a few spiders here or there. You may have spider webs and things like that. And then what goes through your head is, well, is this guy really just lying to me? Is he just spraying water? Is he spraying pesticide? Is he doing what I've contracted him to do? I've still got spiders. What's going on here? A lot of pest control technicians will require that you hire them on a monthly contract or a quarterly contract, a bi-monthly contract. And so basically what this video is intended to do is explain to you what to expect from pest control when you hire out an actual pest control professional, what you can expect in your own home after continual practice of, like I said, pest control. If you have spiders in your home, it can take 2 to 3 months to get them under control with regular monthly service. The reason that is because spiders lay eggs, and the chemical will not hurt the eggs. The chemical will only harm the eggs if the eggs are inside the spider before she's laid the eggs. So understand that, some pesticides will say, yes, it kills the adults and the eggs, all stages or whatever. That's a way that they sell pesticide, but you need to understand that once the eggs are actually laid, the chemical is not going to kill those eggs until they hatch. Then once they hatch, if the pesticide still has a residual in effect, then it will kill the babies when they crawl through it. So understand that you may still have residual spiders for 2 or 3 months after a spider treatment, and that's only if you got monthly pest control. Now, the reason I say that monthly pest control is important is because chemicals are designed to break down over over so many days. Some labels will actually state on the label that it's good for 90 days. Now, in my experience myself, I have found that yes, while pesticides will last for 90 days, they are not eliminating the problem quick enough for the customer satisfaction. So, and so what I'm saying is, if I come out and I treat your house and 3 weeks go by and the bugs start making it into the home. Now, after you, this is what I usually tell people. I said, here's what to expect after you've had pest control. I've come in, I've treated your house, expect to see things come out and die you didn't know you had in the house. And that's mainly to condition my customer and explain to them the reasons. Now, the pesticide, typically what happens is the chemical will, and I got an itchy eye, sorry about that. The chemical will, it will degrade. A lot of your pesticides are nerve system based. Some will degrade, like cholinesterase, where the cholinesterase is a chemical that flows between the synapse of the nerve synapse, and so without that there, the electricity can't jump from one nerve synapse to the other. That's a cholinesterase inhibitor. That's what that does. And a lot of pesticides are cholinesterase inhibitors. And so what I do is I explain to people that yes, you may see bugs coming out and dying from absorption of the pesticide, but typically within the first couple weeks you don't notice that. You just see a lot of dead bugs. You may see them in the track of like a sliding door or the windowsill. You may see some flies or something in a windowsill where they've gotten into it and then they've died in the windows. That's a normal thing. That's what you can expect to find. And you may see things crawl out you didn't know you had, because bugs typically will hide from you in cracks and crevices around like baseboards, windowsills, places where, you're not really in contact with them, but they're in contact with the pesticide, because typically a pest control service, it consists of a crack and crevice treatment, which is just like it sounds. You treat the cracks and the crevices. You don't treat like the surface area. It's not like a broadcast pesticide application. So that's what I tell people to expect, and that's normal. Now, after 2 or 3 months of monthly pest control, it's not really normal to find a lot of bugs still all over in the house, because basically what you're doing in those first 2 or 3 months, you're doing what's considered clean out of the home. And so where the bugs were living inside the home, they're living around inside your, closets and your basements and your, after you do regular pest control, the bugs live outside. And so they're going to continually try to get in the home. And one thing I was trying to explain to a guy, just because you've paid for pest control doesn't mean that the pests are going to just stop trying to get in your home. Your home is still there. They still want to live in your home. And so it's one of those things that now, if you're not wanting to pay like a regular maintenance all the time, every month, you can go to like a quarterly service or a bi-monthly service. But the pesticide is still not going to last really effectively to the customer satisfaction past 30 days. You're going to get the best results for your money on a 30-day schedule. Now, it is typically less expensive on a whole to go like bi-monthly or quarterly as far as like a budget plan. Now, what you can expect with that type of plan is the bugs are going to die really well after the exterminator has come to your home within the first few weeks. After a month, they may take them 2 or 3 days to die after they crawl through the pesticide. After 2 months, it may take them a week or 2 to die from the pesticide. They are still dying because the pesticide, now this is if the pesticide has a 90-day residual. The bugs will still be dying, but you're going to see them. They're going to crawl out, they're going to crawl around, they're going to seem really healthy because it hasn't contracted enough of the pesticide, or the pesticide hasn't run its full route because it's weaker. They're going to have to crawl through more of it before they die from it, because these aren't the days of chloridane anymore. Back when chloridane was a legal pesticide, you could use that, and it had a long, long life. It was very stable in the environment. It lasted for a really long time, and so it would kill bugs for a really long time as well. You could treat your house, and you wouldn't have bugs for a long time. Gone are those days. You know, pesticides are designed to break down. You do have to constantly reapply them if you want to keep bugs out of your home. If your home has a problem with spiders, it's always going to have a problem with spiders. If your house has a problem with flies, it's always going to have a problem with flies. If your house has problems with ants, it's always going to have a problem with ants. It's not something that's going to stop just because you've eliminated the problem. Now, if you eliminate your ant problem, like let's say you have a nest of carpenter ants in the wall of your home, and you eliminate that problem, you are going to continually have to fight to keep the ants out of that piece of wood that they were living in, because they were attracted to that wood, and there's going to be a new colony eventually that will be attracted to that same piece of wood that attracted the original colony, because it's attractive to ants. The house doesn't all of a sudden lose its attractiveness to the bugs just because you have pest control, because once the chemical wears off and the chemical is no longer effective, you are going to have a problem again in the future. What I usually recommend people do with carpenter ant problems is you want to replace the lumber. Now, that's not always an option. You know, if it's just like a nest of acrobat ants or odorous house ants and they're living in the walls, well, that's kind of ridiculous to tear your wall open and replace a 2x4, because they don't even do any damage structurally hardly ever. And so it's not something you want to tear your wall open for. And in that instance, it would actually be cheaper just to pay for pest control. A lot of guys, I mean, what I do, I mean, I give people this advice all the time. If you have pest control and you've had pest control for a while and you've eliminated your bug problem, sometimes you can just take it on yourself. You know, if you really are worried about it, you know, and you don't want to pay the exterminator to come out to your house, once you've eliminated the problem or the source of the problem, then, or not necessarily the source, because a lot of bugs you can't eliminate the source because they're everywhere. But once you've eliminated the vast majority of your problem, a lot of times you as a consumer can then take on the job of the pest control technician. Now, you're going to have to do more work. You're going to have to spray the house maybe twice a month rather than once a month, because the chemicals provided to you by, Walmart, Home Depot, places people buy pesticides, they're not going to be as strong. They're going to be premixed. A lot of times people use like Bear Home Defense or something like that, and they'll spray around their house. It's not going to have the longevity of something that you would order from an actual pest control service, but it will work, and once you get your problem under control, then sometimes you can hand it off as a pest control technician. You can hand it off to the customer, and the customer can take it from there. And I don't mind doing that at all. I don't mind working myself out of a job if I have to. They'll tell their friends and family if they end up having a problem, and word of mouth is better advertising anyway. So so the guys can, so this is what you can expect. I just want to make sure that people understand that just because you continue to have a bug problem after your pest control technician has come to your home, it doesn't mean he's not doing his job. Some bugs take several months to eliminate. Cockroaches, bed bugs, spiders, ants, these things take time. Fleas can take up to 3 to 4 weeks to eliminate a flea infestation. That's normal. That's the way that bugs work. The way they reproduce, the way they infest your home, it can take a while to get them under control. So hopefully this has helped. If there's any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave comments below. Subscribe, like my channel, like my videos, share them around, get the word out. Hopefully we can help people eliminate the bug problems. You guys have a really great day. I appreciate it, and I'll be talking to you later. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, if you have any questions, you're welcome to tweet me at Green Acres PC. I'll have a link down below in the description. I also have a Facebook page, Green Acres Pest Control LLC. You can search me out there, send me messages there if you have any questions at all. If you have any pictures of bugs you'd like identified, don't hesitate to send me pictures. Also over at Twitter, and I do a live stream every Friday night called the Bed Bug Show. It's not just about bed bugs. It's the vast majority of it's about bed bugs. But if you have any questions at all about any other bugs that we've talked about tonight, or pesticide usage, or anything we've talked about on this video, don't hesitate to ask questions there too if you want a live answer. A lot of times I will do web searches and show you how to search out the problems yourself and solve them yourself. So I will see you Friday night, and hopefully this video has helped you. Y'all have a great